Oh yeah, it's another Tuesday evening, and you know what that means. Another episode of Gaming After Dark with Newf, Nukem, and Friends. I'm your host, Boom Kaboom. It's Newf, Nukem. It's going to be a good show tonight. We've got some pretty decent topics, and it's always fun hanging out with the panel and seeing all you incredible people in the chat. Speaking of incredible people, we got Frank already hanging out with us bright and early. Fazza, what's going on, brother? Good to see you here. Yes, let's get this show on the road. Let's bring in the panel, starting with the shaded one himself, Mr. GameComplainers.
What's going on, everybody? My voice is a little messed up from being sick, but I should be all right.
You sound pretty good on this end, so hopefully you can hold it together. You won't have to shout at anybody. That's the main thing, right?
Yeah, well, we'll
Ready
see.
to go.
I think I'll be all right.
All right. Speaking of someone who is back in action this week after being on the down low, we got Proto Foxy ready to roll up in here.
What up, everybody? It's 8:30. It's Gaming After Dark. It's Tuesday night. Do y'all know where your mothers are at? I do.
That smell is coming out of your bedroom?
Exactly.
Smells like fish and chips in here. What the fuck?
If it smells like fish, you gotta eat that dish. Okay, I'm good.
Well, you know what they say. If it smells like fish, tastes like chicken, plug your nose and keep on licking.
Exactly. That's why we keep going.
Speaking of somebody that needs a good licking, well, apparently Sir X-Men laid a licking on him in bowling. That's your weekly hat in the house.
What's up, boys? What's up, chat? Well, I'm here to tell you that guy, Sir X-Man, is a liar. He's a con. He's a snake. He's an oil snake salesman. He's oh, man. He is just, you know what? He's just a piece of crap. That's what he is.
Oh,
man. Speaking of the piece of crap, let's let him come in and speak for himself. Sir X-Man.
Mr. Hanky, welcome.
Hey, Wiki. You can take a licking and keep on ticking, right? I heard.
Yo, dude, I just want to clear that. I want to clear that up real quick. Sir X-Man beat me fair and square. Second game, I beat Sir X-Man fair and square.
And then you kick
Third game, no, X-Man. Let me explain. Third game, this mysterious orange ball comes out of. I've never seen this ball before.
Because you haven't unlocked it.
He strike, spare, strike. I'm like, I can't stop him. What? Where did this? He baited me, and he. Oh yeah.
You don't understand real bowling. Sometimes you get.
Oh no, I know bowling. He held his ball the whole time. He's a liar.
Oh, and Newf, I saw Handy Eddie cheating on you on the old banana split show.
Oh, wow.
Was that at Chippendales? Or
I was like, I knew that character looked familiar. And then he moved over to the Muppet Show. I'm like, what the fuck? He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Handy Andy doing around.
He gets around, man. He gets around.
Quite handy.
Hey, speaking of handy, what's going on? Anthony L's in the chat. We got RWK up in here. We got Raven Arrow. So the who's who has already shown up bright and early in the chat. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for the support.
Hey, boys.
Like button, share this out, and let's get some people up in here.
Let's go.
What's everybody been up to? What you've been playing? I've been playing things all over the board this past week or so, but I can tell you last week, I know we talked about South of Midnight. I just will go on the record now by saying I played 4 chapters of the game. It is a phenomenal game. Loved every second of it. Unfortunately, my Game Pass Ultimate has run out, so I don't have access to the game right now. But I'll probably buy a copy of it down the road here. Just it's not on my to-do list at the moment. But, just wanted to say, because I really couldn't comment a lot on it last week because I hadn't played it. But, yeah, the characters, the graphics. I love Hazel. She's awesome. The art style and stuff. Yeah, I mean, the game is not flawless by any means, but I think they did a damn good job with it. It's a lot of fun. People seem to be enjoying it, like I said, and I think it's a unique game in the fact of the lore and, the Southern hospitality and all that stuff that plays into this game, the weaving stuff, and I think it's really cool. So I'm actually enjoying it. I don't know about the rest of you guys, how much you get to play of it, but solid game. Good job, Compulsion. Well, so what you guys been playing? Anything in particular? Anything new and stand out this week, Perry?
I've just been playing older games like Mortal Kombat 3. Today's the 30th anniversary of that game coming out, so I streamed it. I played the arcade version, all the home console versions, and that was pretty much it. I've been sick all weekend, so I really haven't played anything.
That game got my favorite character, Striker. I love playing Striker.
Nice.
You
Striker.
would.
Striker.
MK3, it's Sub-Zero and Smoke when you unlock them.
I thought your favorite was Goro.
He's not in that one.
Which version
Andy
of
loves
Smoke?
him.
No.
Well, the original 3 came out today, so I played.
Yeah,
the
Oh,
Right.
original 3, not Ultimate. Yeah, my bad.
I have a gun.
Ultimate 3 is obviously it's the best one, but yeah,
Yes,
I went back
it
and just
is.
played
I
the original
love
3.
that one. That's when I've had it on the Sega Genesis, and I got the card for Insta Kill. I got the Game Shark for Insta Kill.
Oh, no.
nice.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Proto, what have you been playing, brother? I know you've been
I
on the
actually
downloads,
jumped
so
back-
probably not a whole lot, but
What's that?
I said I know you've been a little bit on the downloads, so probably not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But then again,
Yeah.
last time we talked to you, we're really on the retro kick.
Yeah, no, I ended up jumping back into. So yeah, I guess you could say retro because now I feel old because it would be considered retro. I jumped back into a Soul Reaver remastered. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I finally decided to go ahead and tie myself down, and I'm like, okay, got to go through this and finish it. So that's where I'm at right now.
Nice, the good old Soul Reaver.
Oh my god, hell yeah!
You're wicked hot, sir. What have you been playing besides playing with Sir X-Men and the big balls?
Oh man. Yep. Just that's my favorite thing to do every week. But other than that,
every Sunday morning.
yep, every Sunday morning we just break our balls out and we just go to town. Yep. And then that, I did literally just finish South of Midnight, like maybe 2 hours before the show started.
Congratulations, man. Look
Thank
at your
you,
band
thank
ass.
you. It's a boy. No, I'm just kidding. But no, dude, it was dope. I love the game, to be honest. 8 out of 10 for me. Solid 8 out of 10.
Nice. Very, very good start for Compulsion. That's great, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
great art style, right? Good character, solid controls.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Great, yeah, I like it. Music was great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Sir X-Man, how about yourself, man? Obviously, you've been playing lots of the pro bowling, but what else has been on the docket?
A little bit more South of Midnight and Battlefield.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield.
He's
Cool,
back.
man.
He's got the itch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I played some. I got it's in Game Pass. I got the collection for free. It's in Game Pass now, and it has Blackthorn. The version that was on 32X of Sega.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Man, I love Blackthorn. Man, I love that game on the 32X.
Oh my
and
God.
you man, it's an incredible game. I realize how dated it is, but it is still fun.
I remember
Now I
that
just-
game. Badass back in the day.
Oh yeah. Now I just wish somebody would make
Hey,
remake put back MDK 1 and 2. Those were one of some of my favorite games. I loved MDK.
Yeah, MDK was
MDK,
pretty
Murder,
awesome.
Death, Kill. Yes, sir.
That was a great game. And the physics
some-
for the time, the physics of that game for the time were like incredible. And the snipering. Once you get that unlocked, yeah.
Gotcha. Nice. Well, it sounds like everybody's been pretty busy rolling into games, whether they be old or new. Speaking of old, I guess we might segue into this, guys. If you probably saw it today, it looks like the Elder Scrolls Oblivion is coming back, getting they call it a remaster, but if you look at the graphics, it looks a little closer to a remake, plus a lot of gameplay improvements and so on and so forth. So we might as well just touch on this real quick because it won't take long. But is anybody here excited about jumping back into Tamriel? And I guess the big question is, do you think this is more of a cash grab, or this is just another great tide me over to kind of, pass the time away until Elder Scrolls 6 actually comes out. So any big Oblivion fans here, if you had a 360, I'd say there's a very good chance that you had that game when it came out. So I'm pretty excited, but I'll let you take the floor. Perry, how about yourself, man?
I never played the game that much or anything. I probably downloaded it to check it out, but Frank, he loved those games. And I heard from other people that they were great games. There was some guy I knew. He bought it on PS3, and he was like, "Oh, I'm loving this game," or whatever. So I heard it from him, and I've never really checked it out, but I'll check this one out when it comes out. I don't think it's a cash grab because this thing came out like 20 years ago, right?
Right.
That's a long time. Whereas Sony, they're releasing games like every freaking year.
It still holds up pretty well. Like even the original, like it doesn't even look bad if you play the 360 version. But
right,
yeah, no, the new graphics are definitely far more advanced, and I'm sure there's a lot of other features that they'll add to the game to make it a little more up to date. I think they've got improved combat and menu systems and stuff as well. So
they'll probably add automatic save points because the other one you had to find save points. So they'll probably add that.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's always a nice feature. Anybody else? Proto, how about yourself, man? You ready to jump back into Tamriel? Are you kind of done with it? What's the deal?
Oh, no, I'll definitely jump in because the thing is, a lot like Perry, I didn't play a whole lot of Oblivion. I actually was more of a Skyrim guy.
Right.
So yeah, I did. I liked what I played of the original, but yeah, I'll definitely jump into this. I was actually kind of surprised that, that they just kind of out of nowhere saying, but it was a leak, of course. But yeah, but out of nowhere, it's like, oh, the leak happens, and now they're talking about even maybe shadow dropping it, which is like, for Elder Scrolls, it's kind of crazy, but hey, it is what it is. Either way it comes out, yeah, I'll definitely be jumping back in.
I don't care.
They'll try to drop it probably sometime during the summer. It might even get a release date close to the Xbox Game Fest or whatever here in June.
There are
They'll
so
want to
many
get it out. If
games
anybody's
out.
planning to put any hours into it, they'll want to get it out before GTA and all the rest of that stuff drops in the fall. Or otherwise, that game will just be forgotten about. And I assume it's going to be on Game Pass, but I could be wrong in that too.
There are so many games that are a time suck right now. I ain't got no time to play that game. I got too many other games coming out. That game's a time suck. Not for me.
Yeah. I wonder how much they're going to charge for like the actual game. Like that's something we don't know. Like I think it's got to be reasonably priced. I wouldn't want to go out and pay full price for it. Like it'd have to be like, like half price, like a sensible price game. Probably like $50 or $40 US kind of deal. I don't know where you guys come in on that. You're wicked hot, man. You're down there having a good laugh. You toasting your chair with some nice farts or what?
Yeah. I'm just getting a good huff. I'm getting real high from them. They're just the airflow is just going straight up, and you can see my eyes rolling to the back of my head. I am fine. Just give me a minute. I'll be good.
Yeah, it's all good, man. You can sniff all the farts you want. Nobody's holding it against you. Thank God I don't have to sniff my fucking farts, or the show might have to stop early.
Oh, Jesus. I can smell it across country.
Nah. Newf is sick. Newf's going to puke.
Throw it because he was sniffing on his own ass.
It's that toxic air.
Yeah. Stevie Mac says, yeah, probably going to be $90 like everybody else is about to do. Yeah, he might not be far off on that one.
Yeah, maybe.
No chance.
We got a newcomer in here, Caitlin Mickle. What's going on, Caitlin? Stevie Mac, what's happening?
One of my
Hockey
friends.
fan, what's going on? Dizzy Delta's in the building. What's going on, good brother Dizzy?
Yes, sir.
All right. How about anybody else or X-Men? You jumping back into Tamriel?
I think he's got too many things to play.
No, there's too much to play, dude. It's becoming unreal. I got too many games coming out. So,
bro, that's always been a problem right now. That's what I think. That's literally the most undersung problem with the games industry, outside of the rising prices, which we're going to talk about tonight. Yeah. But I've said this a billion times, between Game Pass and the releases of indies and AAAs, like, yeah, there's lulls in gaming, but overall, we've never had it so good in terms of the amount of games coming out. But at the same time, unless you've got an endless supply either of cash and money, maybe both, is really fucking hard to keep up with the gaming landscape right now.
It is.
Like, and you look at how fast, like Avowed just came out, right? Avowed still has the freshness on it, and yet people have already played it, and it's like it feels like it's been out 2 years ago. Does that make sense? So nobody's talking about Avowed now. We're already into this what do you call it? South of Midnight game. Most people have already forgotten about Assassin's Creed already, and that just came out. You see the dilemma here? And I'm guilty as charged. I've played all 3 games. I haven't finished any of them yet.
Damn. Dude, it was crazy. When I was playing South of Midnight, every single one of my achievements, just for the main story, all rare achievements.
Wow.
All rare.
I believe it.
Dude, no one's playing the game. It's kind of weird. People are playing it, but like kind of no one's playing it.
Well, it's the thing, just like Newf said, right? Where it's just like you got kind of like you got a week or two, and then everybody moves on. It's almost like the news cycle, right? It stays in there for a day or two, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're on to the next thing.
It's kind of continue. My bad, Proto.
No, I was just gonna say it's just wild to think of it that way. Like you get all these AAA, big budget titles and shit. Now people are dropping like $300 million on creating these games that stay in the media's eye for a week, and then boom, we're on to the next thing.
Yeah. I kind of feel like
that's why a lot of us, our backlogs just keep growing because we move on to something else, and it's nuts. The only people that don't think they have a lot of games are people that are still stuck in the same game, like people that are still playing fucking Rocket League and Counter-Strike and fucking Minecraft. Yeah. Those guys just stay in that same environment for fucking ever, it seems like.
Yeah. I feel like if a new game comes out, I have this weird concept in my head. I call it the 2-week hype. If a game comes out and the hype doesn't last 2 weeks, it won't be dead, but it's very much going to plateau or go down from there. But if a game lasts longer than 2 weeks with the hype, then it's going to carry on. You're going to keep going and going and going and going with it. It's kind of like that sounds like some games.
A new movie in a movie theater. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. The concept kind of works with the movies too. But like, if it don't last the 2 weeks, then it's gonna go burn. But if it lasts longer than 2 weeks with the hype, it just keeps kind of going up for a while longer.
Yeah, because Minecraft, the movie, is a phenomenon, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
What's up with people throwing the popcorn and bringing chickens to the show? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the only thing I'm doing is choking my chicken.
Kids having fun.
What's it called? Chicken jockey or some fucking thing? And
it's something you do in Minecraft.
I don't even know. God. I seen a video of Direct Man in the movie theater with a live chicken just holding it up.
Yeah, I saw
the fucking chicken out of the bag. What the fuck?
He had a bunch of Proto seen him too. He had tribal paint on him, and he was like,
"What the fuck is even happening right now?" It's like this is a kids movie.
Their X-Man's gone tribal in the middle of.
Oh, dude, you should have saw when I took my kids to South Park, the movie Bigger, Better, Deaf.
God,
and deeper. And we took my kids. They knew it was rated R. They've watched South Park with me. All the parents heard was cartoon. The other people. So this was so funny. So Terrence and Phillip came on the movie, and the kids go to the movie, right? And just like in the theater, and the minute that Terrence and Phillip came out, and they were doing Uncle Fucker, parents started walking out just like they were showing in the movie on the screen.
Oh my God.
That was so fun. You saw that too, Perry?
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, that was so funny, dude. It was actually happening in the theater, just like in the movie. I was like, that was so funny. They knew it was going to happen.
My friend went to go see Sausage Party. He thought it was a kids movie. And then he, after the movie ends, he puts on Facebook, "Don't bring your kids to Sausage Party, not a kids film." It's like,
wait,
we all know it wasn't a kids film.
Oh, shit.
Yo, I had a buddy.
The advertising, right? You dumbass.
Yo, Perry, same movie. We're going up, and you know how when you go with your buddies, everyone's getting their ticket. You're like, "Yeah, can I have one to, sausage party, one to sausage party?" I have one of my buddies in line. No joke. He walks up and he just goes, "Can I have one to Sausage Fest?" And then he realized what he said, and we were all dying laughing. The guy was like, "Don't worry, I know what movie you really want." I was like, "No, I want a refund. I didn't know that was on the list. What theater is that in?"
We know what you're looking for.
That's in the theater down the street, the X-rated one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that kind of happened.
To scare me, Wicked.
Yo,
something like that happened 30 years ago. We went to go see Batman Forever.
Right.
So, my friend's parents dropped us off at the theater.
Yep.
We're gonna go see Batman Forever, right? They drive away, and back then, like, you didn't have cell phones to pull out and call anybody. No. You had to wait till they got home or whatever. Anyway, we go to get the tickets for Batman Forever, sold out. No way. And it's like, well, what are we gonna do here? Like, we're stuck at the theater. Oh, well, you could see another movie, and we're like, what's a PG-13 movie or a PG movie? Oh, Forget Paris. So we had to buy tickets to Forget Paris.
Oh my God. No, you didn't watch that.
Yeah. And then me and my other friend sat there in the theater. My other buddy, he snuck in the Batman. When I walked by, I saw him, he was sitting on the freaking floor. There were people sitting in the aisleway for Batman Forever. It's crazy. But I had to see.
Probably the best way to see that one is just sneaking in.
Yeah, remember you could do that. Go watch one movie and then just sneak back.
Shit, man, I was doing that up until COVID happened. I was still, I was catching double features for the price of one.
Oh man,
you gotta get your money.
Proto just changes his hat and moves over to the next one.
You know what? I would just take my hat off.
Hey, we used to have drive-ins up here, so
this is true. We did.
Still got a couple.
It wasn't hard. How you got a couple of drive-ins when you're over in Boston?
We got a couple.
Where they gonna put it? Y'all ain't got enough space.
What do you think?
Massachusetts got space to be
Boston, like one crowded city as fuck. Like, no, we have fucking a lot of land too.
You mean it's not? It isn't. Yeah.
It's not a bunch of cobblestone and everything like that with a bunch of tea bags in the ocean. Like, what the fuck you think this is, X-Man?
Oh no,
the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, right. We go get my blue coat. Yo, Sir X-Man, I'll see you at Plymouth Rock, bitch.
Wow. I built Plymouth Rock, bitch. I didn't land.
What the fuck, Sir X-Man? Yo, Jesus Christ.
What is happening?
Oh my God.
He started it.
He might not be wrong. I'm not telling him he's not wrong.
Hey, it's on my Twitch stream. We played for what? Over 2 hours?
Yep, and he cheated for about an hour and a half of it.
I did not cheat.
All right, gents, we're going to move on to the first topic of the night, and that is Bungie's new marathon. They have shown off a trailer for it. It's getting a lot of sort of mixed reaction, so I want to find out how you feel about it. We're going to play it for you right now for those of you who have not watched it. So let's take a look and kind of give us our 2 cents on whether we think this is going to be a hit or potentially a miss. Let's find out. So here we go. Let's roll the tape, shall we? Where the hell am I? Here we go.
Where am I?
You're on a show.
Hang on, I'm gonna make this video large. Here we go.
What did they used to say about that? Looks so cartoony. Why does it look cartoony? They used to say that about Borderlands.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter.
This looks like it could run on the Switch 1.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm really trying to keep my thoughts to myself until it's my turn to talk.
Human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats. To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out, to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No two runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
And there you go. There you have it.
Okay, I'm gonna be the weird one here. It looks like Valorant, but I'm not upset. It does not look that bad to me. I don't know what people are thinking. It does not look that bad to me.
Well, that's fine. That's where we're going to get your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened here? Where the hell are we on the screen? The fuck?
Lights out.
It's blackout now.
Oh my God! It's the Undertaker. Where is he?
Copyright already? It's time. It's time.
It just the screen turns on. It's just X-Man with eyeshadow.
There we go.
Bong.
Well, now we got Newf. There we are.
There we go. All right, so let's go around. You know what? Let's start with Sir X-Men since he chimed in here and he says he actually thinks it looks pretty cool. So tell us, look, I'm just going to start by saying I've never played the original marathons. I got nothing to kind of fall back on. It sounds like Proto definitely does. But, but how about yourself? Did you play the original game? And what do you think of what you just saw?
I never knew about Marathon until Bungie said they were going to make that. But to me, it doesn't look bad. It looks very it reminds me of the Valorant game that's big on PC. So, and it has the same play. The cartooniness, though, I'm not sure about how that's going to flow, and that better run 60. It better not run no 30.
Oh, there's no way it can't run 30. It just can't.
You
I
can't
have a
have
feeling
that.
it's probably going to run 60. It is a Bungie game after all. They're usually pretty good when it comes to performance.
But I like the concept. It's got a lot of other game features, but yet it has its own uniqueness. So that's why, because you got all the Call of Duty heads, all the Call of Duty heads out there. So, that's probably where a lot of the feelings come from. You got a lot of Destiny people out there, so a lot of people probably is like, okay, that's different. Never seen it before, but it looks like something I'm not gonna play. But it's coming everywhere, so
it will be on the Xbox for those of you wondering.
And PC. I'd probably play that on PC for the graphics. Yeah. But
if I were to ever play it, I'd like PC.
Yeah, but it doesn't look as bad as that's the first time I've seen it. It doesn't look as bad as a lot of people are saying, dude. I don't know where they're coming from. It's a different concept of the way shooters are. Mm-hmm. So I'm not mad about it. All right, everybody, go ahead.
Go ahead, HAWT. What's your take on Marathon, maybe? Would you rather run the Boston Marathon or play this fucking game?
Oh my God, 26.
Oh, that was funny. Get it, Boston Marathon. You didn't get it.
Jesus Christ, that was a real knee slapper there, buddy. You motherfucker.
You're a little slow there today, buddy.
Nah,
kind of like your bowling ball. Oh.
Hey, or maybe Karen Reed could drive you.
Yo, dude, Karen Reed could just drive me there. But anyway, let me see. I honestly like the concept of the game. I think the idea of what they have is kind of cool. With the whole extraction, working against people, the loot dropping, you possibly going back to pick it up, or someone steals it from you. But overall, I feel like extraction shooters as a whole is more or less on the niche side. Like today, like now, maybe a little bit a couple of years ago or farther back, it might have been a little bit more prevalent. I know, what is it? Something Turok does that pretty well, but that's on the PC. So I kind of think it might be on, like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know.
Remember
I think it's more on the niche side. I don't really.
Let me ask you this: where do you think it comes in from a price standpoint? Do you think it's going to be a half-price game, or do you think Sony will charge the full kit and caboodle for this?
I think we're gonna go $40. I think $40 is the price, because they're gonna do battle passes and stuff. Right. I mean, realistically, you'd think they'd probably either make it free to play, or $20. I think is maybe a little bit more, a little bit more eye candy-ish once you start hitting that realm. But like, there's a lot of questions to it that I have. So like, not really, not knowing too much about it and just jumping in. I've never played a marathon game before. So like, I don't know, like the whole me losing my loot and stuff like this, like, am I keeping it forever? Do I have to put it in a stash? What happens with seasons? Is this like a Diablo thing? Am I going to lose all my loot that I've been accumulating over this season and then start new with everyone fresh? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have. I'd like to give it a go if it was like free to play. But I just don't see myself dumping $40. Maybe like Perry hits us up in the chat and he's like, hey, it's like $10. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I might try it, or, something like that.
Last question, then let me ask you about the art style. I mean, obviously it has a very distinctive look, very colorful, sort of semi-cartoonish. Has a little bit of almost like a Starfield vibe to it in a way.
Yeah.
But so what did you think of the art style they're going after? Doesn't quite look like Halo. Doesn't quite look like Destiny. It's sort of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Some weird character designs too. It looks like.
Yeah, they are a little weird looking. But to be honest, the character style and the art style doesn't really bother me too much. Sometimes I have this weird feeling like games like this, where there might be longevity to the game. Like there might be a service side that might extend past what they're thinking. I feel like sometimes going the cartoony route, a little bit on the cartoony side, is not a bad thing. I feel like it ends up making the game look a little bit better later on down the road. Something in the realm of like Borderlands. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, Borderlands is always, I feel like, going to look good going forward. It doesn't really age horribly. I feel like maybe that's the approach they got, but it didn't really bother me too much.
Well, Perry probably knows as much about this as anyone, but I would say by using sort of this kind of art style, is it helps you be able to run the game at higher frame rates because you're not drawing in high. Like obviously, if you're going for that art style, you're not worried about high resolution textures. Where if you notice that every game that goes for photorealism, that it's always an issue with textures, right? Like loading in properly and having the right shaders, because otherwise it doesn't work. Where if you go with like a really colorful, flat look to these games, I think they can get away with it. They don't have to worry about as much compromises to make it run, especially when they're making it for various hardware. You think that might be true, Perry?
Oh yeah, big time.
That's an excellent point.
And they probably looked at Marvel Rivals and were like, "Hey, we don't have to kill ourselves with graphics.
Yeah,
this game's making a ton of money, and it's cartoony." So
same with Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like it's like those cartoony games. I think it's like,
look at
cell shading. Like cell shading
you
just
can go back
ages
and play the original first two Borderlands, and you don't really go back and go, "Wow, this game looks really ugly," because they chose an art style that sort of transcends time a little bit. Like sure, like Borderlands 3 looks better than the first game. Don't get me wrong, but when you pick an art style like that, it's hard to interpret what you're going for because there's no bar to measure it against, right? You don't have to go, well, that's not photorealistic. Like a racing game, you go back and play racing games from 10 years ago. Not quite the same story because you see how like the trees, the textures, the cars, and the shadows and the reflections look way better now than they ever did, right? So you get that. But with shooters, there's room for interpretation when you use these specific art styles. It's even like the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. That game still holds up really well today because Nintendo was smart enough to use an art style that looks just as good on, say, a GameCube or even new hardware because they went with that model. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
If you're able to,
and it makes it easier to run when you're trying to make it work on different hardware scenarios.
If it works for the game you're making, by all means, like just do it because, like you said, it helps the game with the frame rate. It's not going to be a heavy load on it, and then like on the back end, the longevity of it, it's just going to look good over time. Kind of like cell shading ages well. Like when you play those games,
they do
now.
Yeah, like
a lot of people with PCs can play it too.
Yeah. Like maybe low end PCs too.
Yep.
You know, more people to play is the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go with you, Proto. Obviously, you sound like you might have been an original Marathon fan from the sounds of things, and this one does not seem like it's floating your boat.
I'm going to preface this by apologizing in advance to HAWT and here because I'm about to shit all over this thing. I'm going to open it up by saying, "Look how they massacred my boy." I am a fan of the original Marathon and Marathon Durandal. I got into it after I got into Halo because, of course, I went back, wanted to find out all about Bungie's early shit, you know, of course, missed and what have you, but really got into the Marathon games. Loved them. This looks like a cash grab, looter shooter pile of trash in the vein of Concord that basically Bungie went over to. Who did Concord? Who did that game?
Fire Sprite? Why do I want to say Fire Sprite? Fire something? Fire Crotch.
They went to Fire Crotch and he said, hey, you know, it looks like your homework looks pretty good. Yeah, well, just do it a little different so it doesn't look exact. And that's exactly what this game looks like to me. It looks like a fucking carbon clone, fucking Concord, with a unicorn that vomited rainbows all over it. It is just so bad. And then the trailer, this guy who sounds like Jason fucking Statham, and I wanted to choke this sumbitch out. I'm like, oh God, shut the hell up. He's reading off descriptors of what every other looter shooter does, like it's some good feature. It's like, give me a break, dude. We already know what this is. If you played Fortnite, you got the idea of how shit's going to work in Marathon. This isn't a feature. This is just shit that the game does. Right? And then reading stuff about it, and Bungie's out there saying that this is going to be like a premium price fucking product, and they expect people to actually drop money on this trash. Are you kidding me? Did nobody learn from Concord that if you're not going to launch this slop free, you're going to take it off of the market in 2 weeks because it's just going to fail and fail hard. It is so just mind-bafflingly awful. Just everything about this. It's like, let me put it out to y'all this way. You want to play a good looter shooter that's free? Go play fucking Warframe. You won't have to spend any money. You'll get every little feature that they just described in this trailer that's supposed to be special to Marathon. You're going to get it in Warframe. And the game probably looks 100 times fucking better. The style is better. And then it has a single player suite where you can actually enjoy a storyline. This here, you're just going to be running through seasons. Come on, a fucking season pass? Are you kidding me? Ugh. And then they've got the nerve to fucking call it Marathon. Like, how dare you sully the name of a franchise that was held in such high regard and revered, for a lot for Mac players, but then saw a bit of resurgence on the 360 when they're like, hey, Halo's doing really well. Let's give them the Marathon games. And, it had a bit of resurgence there. And now
we're called it Marathon because Marathon means you go for the long term. This game is going to be a short sprint and die.
What do you guys mean? It's made by PlayStation. Quality.
It's like, oh my god! Like,
that's why it's better than Warframe. It's quality. No, I'm just messing.
Oh, good lord!
It's not.
But it's just, it's so infuriating to see them step on the rake again. But then they're going to do it with Bungie, and again, Bungie ain't been Bungie for years. I get it, I really do. But it's like this is the same studio that gave us the original run of Halo. It gave us the Marathon games. And regardless of how you feel about it, the first Destiny was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So you had that, and then of course they started going downhill. Destiny 2 comes out. We can talk about that forever. But then it's just like, you spent 6 years on this? 6 years? What were you doing for 6 years? Sticking your thumbs up your asses while you were headbutting fucking keyboards?
You're playing grab ass.
Shit.
I'm just
the new guy was buying
crap factions, and this is the crap we keep getting. Marathon and fucking.
It's just so awful. And then just like nothing about the trailer itself was just appealing to me at all. The first time I watched it, I'm just like cringing to myself the whole time. I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. Rewatching it now, I'm just shaking my head with my head in my hands. I'm like, oh, this is bad. And Jason Statham is narrating this piece of shit. Like, oh my fucking god. And it's just, and again, they talk about basic gameplay elements of looter shooters like their special features in fucking Marathon. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. It's like, I don't normally wish this, because you always want to see games succeed because we're gamers and that's what we should want to see stuff succeed. But when you see bullshit slop like this, I hope it hits Bungie in the face hard. I hope it hits them so hard like it's a 10-foot fucking dildo right across the face and it fails. Just as bad as Concord. I want to see a story where it was like 2 weeks later, hey, we're pulling Marathon because it was absolute dog shit. Sorry. But then to charge money on it. To charge money. Like, what are you thinking? I'm sorry. I'm done. I could go all night, guys.
All night what Perry thinks of that trailer, and I guess the big question I got for you, Perry, to end it off is, if this game flops, what does it mean for Sony, and what does it mean for Bungie? Because, Destiny is certainly on the downward spiral, and I wouldn't say like these guys need a hit. It's not like do or die here, but I think there's a lot riding on it because Sony invested a lot of money in Bungie. They're hoping that they have the next lightning in a bottle. And me personally, this looks like more like lightning in a shitty diaper. So what do you think, Perry?
This trailer looks like trash. I think Bungie, they just keep playing it safe by making the same game over and over again. They keep reskinning it. And this shit's boring. Like, you guys don't make anything else? This is all you're doing? What have you done with yourselves?
Wouldn't you have been nice that Sony made a shooter that's not space oriented or futuristic?
Let's make a fun game. This game looks like it's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is like a game you torture people with. Like when they arrest people and they got them locked up. All right, play this fucking game. Please, I'll do anything.
This is the video game equivalent of waterboarding.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And you know what? Bungie, they're a bunch of bitches because they should have stayed with Microsoft. They should have kept making Halo. If they were going to make the same game over and over again anyway, which is what they've been doing, just make Halo. You would have given us great games over the years. But no, you had to go make your little Destiny, which, did pretty good. Which, by the way, they said the first Destiny was going to be a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And 2 came out 2 years later. Oh, that's part of the 10-year plan. It's like, no, you said the first game was going to be a 10-year plan. We remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway, now they're jumping back into this. Oh, we made it like this. We made it the cell shaded graphics. Yeah, you did it because you don't know how to fucking get these games to run. I bought the Xbox One X. They couldn't even get Destiny 2 to be 60 FPS. Come on.
God.
Move it. Anyway, fuck these guys.
Well, I like how he came out straight to the point.
And if Sony,
and
if they drop the ball for Sony, Sony coming from.
Everybody's going to have a difference of opinion on this. And like I said, I can't come out and just, if you don't play it, it's kind of hard to just slam it. But at the same time, it's just like watching a movie trailer. Either it brings you in and gets you excited or it doesn't. And to me, it's just like watching a movie trailer, but it's of a game. High pedigree company making it, which is Bungie. We all know that. But this game just does not grab me in any which way or form. This game looks like a cross between Destiny and I don't even know what it definitely has a Destiny vibe. Even the guns kind of look and shoot sort of like Destiny, which kind of makes sense.
Valorant and Apex Legends.
Yeah, it's got a lot of influences going, and rightfully so. I mean, it's hard to make any game nowadays where you don't say, well, this game doesn't borrow from that, and this game doesn't borrow from this, and that's all fine and dandy. But at the same time, I really wanted to see Bungie come out and spread their wings and jump into something different, something that wasn't space oriented. I mean, I'm sure there's other genres. Take a crack at a military shooter, or maybe they can have like an undercover cop shooter or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, something
along that lines where it's a little more grounded, and see what they can do when they actually got to write a story that's more like based in reality instead of using all these space guns. And again, the art style being sort of bright and colorful and simplistic to a certain degree is just not like, with Proto, man, if this game is not free to play when it comes out the gate, I think it's instantly DOA. The first 2 words that lost me was looter shooter and it's got seasons, and I'm like, oh, here we go again, another fucking long-term cash grab with microtransactions and all that other bullshit, just like everybody else is doing. It's like, man, like Sony, we're asking you, we've said this a million times already, bring us a fucking SOCOM game. I mean, heck, Bungie would have been awesome with Bungie would have been an awesome studio to do a first-person SOCOM, don't you think?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yes. Okay.
I'd rather see that.
Nah, see, I would have paid to see that, right? Bungie with the first-person SOCOM game? Fuck, we'd all been planking down some money, but no.
Fuck, give Resistance to Bungie.
Resistance or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Killzone, something. Let's get something going here. Put some coal in the fucking engine. Let's get it running.
So, now for me, I'm just going to say I'm sure it plays really good, but I'm out. That's just not a game that I have zero interest in. And I have a feeling from the panel's reaction and from that of the chat, I already think the writing's on the wall for this marathon game. It's not even going to make it to the finish line.
No.
I said I'm kind of interested in it.
I'd like to try the beta,
like
like
the
a free beta.
concept.
I just like to see what's up.
I think the bone right now they're still showing pre stuff, but right now the bones are good. But I need to see what the structure is for the real gameplay.
Yeah.
If you got good bones, like when you buy a house, you can get an old house, but if the bones in the house are good, you got a chance. You got a chance.
But here's good bones.
But here's the problem with that thought process, man, because they don't have, they don't have good bones. It's fucking looter shooter Fortnite slop, and then they just slap marathon on it. I mean,
but
God bless you, brother.
But what he said was though that's something different than the other looter shooters is the weapon that you keep or the upgrades you keep, you can bring them on to other matches that you play and play.
And you can lose them.
You don't
like,
lose
I understand
them.
what you mean.
No, that's
you can do that in Warframe too, bud. You really can.
In-game. But you
that's
can
what I'm
carry
talking. It's in game.
You upgrade. Yeah. I understand. It's taken from other games. Every game does.
I guess. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, but they're throwing it into some new type of shooter style. So I hope he does good for Bungie. I hope it's better than what we saw the first.
Nobody wishes for a game to fail. I don't really think.
No, we don't.
Things that we want it to fail, but the writing's on the wall.
We've had enough of that in this industry. I do want to see games do good, and it is time for. I hate to say it, but it is time for some new style of shooters compared to what we have out here now. Because right now, everything else kind of looks the same. Every other shooter. So I'm wishing them the best. I'll probably check it out after I see what other people feel, and I'll evaluate what people are saying about the real product when it comes out.
Yeah.
I think it'd been cooler if they had done something called Space Pirates, and you literally have a ship, go to outer space with your team, fucking fly to different planets, loot the fucking planet, try to get off it and survive and get back to your ship, and then much like Sea of Thieves, another ship could roll up on you, fucking destroy you, and take all your fucking shit. Now that sounds more interesting.
Hey, that's called Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves.
But we in space. But we could all be little aliens, like what is it? What's that alien game? It's like a cartoon one. Can't think of it. Kill all humans? No, is that it? Destroy all humans? Destroy all humans.
Destroy all humans.
Imagine if we were all like little guys like that running around like little lasers. No, behind you.
That's what I want Starfield to be if they ever do a multiplayer. Everybody go.
That'd be cool.
Destroy everything and take the base and then get out before they send reinforcements. Let's get to the fucking ship. And they have a space battle and try to escape.
Just moving on topics and thinking of games that were sort of dead, but it looks like they might get a new lease on life. I don't know if you guys have heard that Ubisoft is putting some more money behind Skull and Bones, and they actually have some new stuff coming out where you can actually get off the ship now, and you can play a pirate, and you'll be fighting undead skeletons. So, hence, essentially, Pirates of the Caribbean. Anybody willing to jump back into Skull and Bones? I've never even played the game and really don't have much intentions to, but just wanted to get your take on what you thought of Ubisoft trying to extend the life of this franchise. We saw how they have sort of resurrected other games, hence, Rainbow Six Siege had a new lease on life. That game that came out, that fighting game for Honor. I mean, they pad it with lots of content, and that sort of got a lease on life. So do you think Skull and Bones can come back from the dead?
I got one for it.
Did you say they can get off the island and fight skeletons?
No, you can get off the ship. You can actually have on foot and go onto the islands and I hate to see it kind of shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They're copying.
They just got I'm not even willing to give that game even a thought. I played it the first time. And I was like, me and my buddies hopped in. We're like, all right, cool. Let's kind of do the Sea of Thieves thing. Tried to get on each other's ships, couldn't. We all had to have our own ships and then drive around. I'm like, then what is the point of being in the same lobby? Explain to me what the fuck we're doing. And after that point, I was like, I'm done. I was like, all I wanted to do was chill with my boys on the ship, do some fucking hood rat shit, and call it a night. And what did I end up doing? Uninstalling.
At least the Thieves
that is some hood rat shit.
At least the Thieves let you get shot out of a cannon, land on somebody's ship,
and puke
and harass them.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that game can go fucking kick rocks, pound sand, punch a pillow, all those,
and maybe even bite a pillow.
Yeah, you can bite a pillow like Sir X-Man likes to do. Back in them prison days, you know what I'm saying, Sir X-Man?
Oh, man.
All right, well, it definitely sounds like the majority of this panel has no love or any desire to jump back into Skull and Bones.
I'd rather play Avatar.
I got that game for $10 at Best Buy. The
and you wanted your money
cool.
back.
Well, no, listen to this. The intro was cool, whatever. Then when you get into the game, like, it's just impossible to play.
Yeah. It's like Monster Hunter. Everyone's everywhere.
You can't just jump in and play that game. You have to like sit there and think about all this stuff because there's all different mechanics to everything. And it's like, I don't have time for this shit. Like, you guys are crazy. They made like a simulator for pirates that's just too in depth.
Yeah. It's funny you mention that because I've always said if there's one thing about Sea of Thieves too that I think that was a major missed opportunity, and still to this day I don't understand why they don't, is they should have really had a tutorial level for Sea of Thieves. Because when you're jumping in with randoms who are especially new in that game, like they don't know what to do with the sails. You don't know how you got to bail out a boat. You know what I mean? Like there's no everything you got to figure it on your own, and it's such a high learning curve in Sea of Thieves for the first so long. And I always said, man, they should have done something to help newer people along. You know?
Right.
That is so true.
This is like Sea of Thieves. You can jump in and play, but this game, Newf, if you ever buy that game,
it's different. It's not user friendly in the least bit when you hop in and you just want to have fun.
Axel saying they have a tutorial now. Well, that was a long time in the making. If that's true, that's awesome because that should have been there from the beginning. Because I played with a lot of new people and they have no fucking clue, and it's super hard, especially if they don't have microphones. Actually, fucking
go get the bucket and bail the water. What?
Well, someone's got to load a cannon. Someone's got to work a sail. Someone's got to fucking navigate.
Somebody got to trim the gas.
I got Skull and Bones for $10, and then GameStop gave me $12 for it. So
fucking deal.
They made $2.
I got in and got out with money.
Trade-in value.
Dude, that's dope. Been there, done that shit.
So
I got $2 for my pain.
What you're saying is you work the system.
That's right. They fuck us, we fuck them.
I sold it for 10. Best GameStop gave me 12. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, Axel, I hope you're doing better, Axel. I hope you're doing better, Axel.
Axel is the tutorial. He's in the game.
No, I just hope he's doing all right. He wasn't feeling good. That's all. Remember?
Yep. Glad to see you up and at him, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now now drop the sails and shit. We got a fucking ship to ride.
Drop the sails. Drop your pants instead.
Fuck you. Drop your pants, cup your sack, spread your cheeks, boys.
We're going in.
We're going full body cavity searches.
When you got a good crew and Sea of Thieves, that game can be a ton of fun, though. We'll give it that.
That game is fun until you find the crack in. They'll be like, okay, guys, we need to get the hell away from here.
Yeah, right.
Fucking chasing you at the same time as ghost ships firing at you. Like that game gets fucking absolutely gnarly.
I know, right?
You're like, holy fuck.
Sea of Thieves.
Every time I play that, I'll be like, do not steer near that goddamn skull in the sky. I do not feel like that shit today.
There's shit over there. Don't worry about the treasures. There'll be shit over there, matey.
Digital. Oh my goodness.
What's about digital pegging? What the hell?
All about the stimulation these days, boys. We hook things up to your nipple.
I'll tell you what.
All right. Moving along, I guess, to let's move along from Marathon and get into the rising costs of gaming. This is definitely a topic that we're starting to see more and more. I think it's becoming more common lately. We saw a rise in subscription services. We're seeing a rise in games, potentially another rise in games. Nintendo is spurring it on now with, of course, the release of the Switch 2, potentially their games. We are possibly looking at a $100 plus game with Grand Theft Auto, give or take. We know the astronomical cost of making some of these games, but they're not all costing $200 million. And again, with so many games to play and limited budgets, that's the thing. We're getting more and more to play, but we're not all making a whole lot more money. So, do you guys foresee a potential change in the game industry? Perhaps even, I wouldn't say a crash per se. I think the games industry might be too big for something like that. But definitely we're going to see a lot of numbers plummet. I think a lot of targets are going to be missed, both in terms of games and financials and console sales. Where do you guys see the games industry going here if things don't change and companies are willing to bite the bullet a little bit, perhaps? Maybe take a little less on the top end, that sort of thing, because I think it is getting kind of crazy. And like I said, when you think about the average person, not just us, but if you think about the average person this winter in particular, when that Switch 2 comes out and the average parent is walking in and basically their kid's asking for one for Christmas and they see the sticker price in that fucker and then the games, you can only imagine the reaction they're going to get. Like I said, we're in the know, right? So you got to think of it from our perspective as hardcore gamers, but also think of the average person that's going to buy a game now moving forward. Is this going to be a boost for Microsoft and Game Pass, which I think potentially it could, but it could also backfire because we know how much fucking shitheads Microsoft has also been. It's not just Sony, and they're likely to fucking slap another $5 on that cocksucking Game Pass. Because, the games cost more. Well, fuck it. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of Game Pass to begin with, is to be the best value in gaming. But if you're going to turn out and be as scuzzy as fucking Netflix, which puts the price up every time that somebody farts in the wind now, Netflix gone up again, Netflix gone up again. And then you pay for something and you put fucking advertising in too now. It's like, what the fuck is it, this shit? Even Amazon got dirty last year. Oh, I've been paying $10 all along. Well, you won't pay anymore, but we're putting in advertising now. So you're going to watch a couple of fucking ads throughout your movie and but if you do want to get rid of the ads, well, it's another $2 or $3 or whatever. What kind of shit is that? You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. Just give anybody randomly, whoever wants to jump in on this. I think we're in for a big fucking, I don't know if a crash, but I definitely think shit's going to hit the fan here pretty soon.
There will never be another gaming crash like the 80s, because I've seen that for years.
Yeah.
Oh, there's going to be another crash that's happening. It's not happening. They make too much money.
The industry is flooded with necessarily inferior products and shit like it was back then when everybody was just putting out something to make a buck.
You're just going to see companies go out of business or sell off stuff, and they're going to condense down into only a few companies. Those companies are going to make a ton of money. Now, with everything else, man, I don't know. I'm on the spot here. I put myself on the spot.
You got it.
I think for the Switch 2, the games are going to be $90. I think they're just going to sell a lot less games, and I think Nintendo is going to realize that and eventually come around with the pricing of the games, not so much the console.
Nintendo's probably going to bring back their greatest hits fucking shit now, right? They'll bring back, maybe the games actually do get a reduction 3 years after they're out.
Right. And now, by the way, this is going to help out GameStop a little bit, because you're going to trade in more games to get that $90 or $80 price tag dropped down. So it's going to help them out. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a huge thing. We haven't been there yet. And I know people say, well, in the 90s, you paid $80 for it. It's like, all right, Doc Brown, I'm not in the fucking 90s anymore. Been there, done that. I'm here today.
Fucking
take your inflation calculator and stick it up your ass. Nobody cares. I'm here today.
Yeah.
I can't go back in the door and buy Mario Kart World in 95 because it didn't exist in 95.
Yeah.
So
things are different.
Deal with what we got right now. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I think people are going to buy a lot less games if the prices go up, because Sony's dying to charge you $100 for a game.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, Sony's just gonna pretty soon they're gonna have a remaster made of every single game in their lineup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the price of
maybe eventually we'll get a good one.
combo? Holy fuck!
There'll always be a
that's
generation who
awesome.
hasn't played one of their games, so they'll
So
just
if
feel the
Last of Us
need.
3 comes out, are we gonna get the collection again?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
You'll get it all remastered for whatever system that generation
And then
is,
when
and
the
then you'll get the
third
free
game
pack.
comes out, you're gonna get the trilogy
Yeah.
bundle remaster.
The next edition is going to have a big head mode where you're going to be able to switch Ellie's head with actually
Yeah.
Bella Ramsey's and be giant
Oh
head
god,
mode.
Oh my goodness.
no one's buying that shit.
Yeah, I ain't buying a Make-A-Wish Foundation game.
Fuck.
Oh my god, dude. It's wild.
You know what's
I
sad?
heard Proto, but I'm going to laugh that time.
About 3 years
Oh
ago,
man.
games were holding at $60.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, thanks to, gotta say it, 2K,
Mm.
you know, the 2K games, their first new basketball game went to $70. Then everybody started following the trend. You know, now
Yeah,
these games are getting ridiculous now. So,
Yep.
I mean, their prices are going up way too fast for the market. We used to pay for games like that back in the 90s, but they never exceeded $80 or $90 for the really top of the line games. Now they want to make every game that price. Every game wasn't that price back then. There are some games that do not deserve that price. New IPs do not deserve to be $80 to $70 because they haven't proven themselves. I can see certain existing IPs that have proven themselves worthy to be certain prices, like Grand Theft Auto and certain other games. We know the ones that proven themselves and that deserve to be that price. But not every new game that comes out that has not proven themselves. Those games that have not proven themselves are really going to lose in the market because they're trying to get the same price as the top games out there. Those are the ones they're going to lose. If they want to make that mistake, let them go on and make it. You need to keep it at 60. I'll even say 70. Some of those new games. I still would rather prefer them at 50 or 60. But a new developer making a new game like Marathon, you need to prove yourself before you can work on Marathon 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? You should not do that price set at the beginning of a new game. Even though it's Bungie, you'll sell a lot more games and get a lot more players if you keep it at a low price, because back then we didn't have no DLC. Games were pretty much complete.
Honestly, for X-Man, I think when it comes to GTA, those guys should keep their game more reasonably priced because they are guaranteed to sell millions of copies of this game.
Yeah, they're going to make money hand over
return on investment back in. They're going to have the return on investment back in 3 months.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but GTA is a proven juggernaut. I hate to say it, I can honestly see that game being at the price that it's going to be because it's a proven juggernaut. I don't like it.
That's the scary thing.
But
that's
one of those games that are acceptable. It's proven, and I think proven games that've been developing a super long time.
Yep.
That is proven is going to be good. Okay, but non-proven games, like brand new games that have never seen the light of day from anybody that's never been made before, those are the ones that need to be dropped low. Those are the ones. They should never be trying to compete with the big boys. That's like you buy a Lamborghini, you know what you're getting. You cannot price a Yugo at the same fucking price. I'm sorry, but it's a fact. You know what I'm saying?
The downside of the car is like a single time purchase. Like once the car leaves the lot, the company doesn't make a whole lot of residual after that. But if you look at something like Grand Theft Auto, you look at a multiplayer game, it benefits them to get their games in more places than necessary. That's why I think when it comes to multiplayer games in particular should be cheaper because they're going to make up how do you make money with multiplayer games? By having a large user base. And it's proven fact. Look at Fortnite. Fortnite could lose half its user base tomorrow. It's still going to have way more people playing that game than just about any other game that's on the market. And they're making a ton of bank. Those guys don't even have the rest of the game because they're making a shit ton on the skins. So that's how it works. But for a single player game, like I said, your investment is high. And you have to kind of charge to get it back because people play it, they drop it, and that's it. The game is done. So unless you've got DLC or something to charge for, it's a lot tougher to get your return on investment out of a single-player IP, right?
Yeah, and GTA has a proven online. Because if they're online, they keep them fresh. People play that multiplayer so much, it's just unreal, dude. You know, it's just ridiculous. But they are proven title. You feel me? They're a proven title.
Died. Good one, Axel. Good one.
So, I gotta ask you: is that the only way you're going to get your old lady back in bed with you, or what?
Wow,
Lamborghini.
It's messed up.
Oh yeah, she got to keep him now because she gonna be giving it to him every hour on the hour. Because you know all he got to do is drive down to the grocery store, and he getting some.
I just got to go to McDonald's and pick my wife up at McDouble, and she's good to go.
There it is.
Well, one thing I mentioned in the chat, we're getting broken games at $70. Imagine $90 broken games.
That's the part that sucks.
Well,
see,
they're gonna have to make laws for this stuff, man.
No, I agree with you. And I'm
going to
go
digital.
I'm going to completely disagree with X-Man here. No game.
You always disagree with me.
No, there are times that we do agree.
Hey, this is what makes the show great.
But this, I don't care what a game is. No game is worth charging more than $60. Unfortunately, this is the hand we're dealt at this point, right? And a big part of this is, and this is going to sound tinfoil hatty and typical fucking online bullshit, but look where we were at 5 years ago, and games was selling gangbusters, right? We were all inside. We were all stuck. We couldn't do nothing, right? All of a sudden, once all of that eased up and everybody could go out and live life again, video games wasn't pulling in the bank they were before when we were sitting indoors for 6 months to a year, right? I mean,
I had to work.
Well, I got furloughed and then I had to go back to work. But you see where I'm going with this? A lot more people were buying a lot more shit because they couldn't do anything else. And now all of a sudden they aren't seeing that kind of return like they were a few years ago. So now it's like they got to make it up elsewhere. And on top of it, you talk about these franchises like GTA, giving them the pass because they're GTA. Fuck all that noise. That's not, I'm sorry. Just like you mentioned, GTA Online, you're pulling in all kinds of bank with microtransactions and shit like that. All these games that have that component, they're making money hand over fist. Why do they feel like they're justified in charging $80 to $100 a game if they're just going to get you in the back end later, $10 here, $20 there, this, that, and the other thing? It's all bogus. It's just more and more cash grabbing at this point. And like Perry said, game shipping broken, game shipping incomplete. You're getting day one patches on brand new fucking titles. And then you're going to tell me I'm going to pay $100 to fucking maybe not even be able to play the game? Go fuck yourself, man. That's bullshit. But unfortunately, this is where we're at. The Pandora's box is open, and then everybody's all jumping all over Nintendo's shit, and rightfully so, about these prices on their games and everything. Quality.
Fucking Jesus.
And rightfully so, they're jumping on Nintendo's shit, but it's literally, like I had said, I think it was last week or whatever, where it was a game of chicken. Everybody was waiting to see who would do it first. So then they can say, okay, well, now it's okay to do it because X, Y, or Z did it first. And then, and then Newf, you mentioned Game Pass, and they've been steadily rising Game Pass, and you made mention of it for what, the past couple of years now. You don't
They only
think
went up. They only went up $2.
it's still an
Yeah,
increase.
it's going up. And guess what? It's going to go up again. It's going to go up. So, like I've always said, where does Game Pass stop becoming value for people? Like, where's your line in the sand, right? Because at some point, you're going to be paying $30 or $35. And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure your boss is not giving you a $5 and $10 raise every 6 months, right?
No.
But you're going to be paying $5 and $10 more for every fucking product that's on the market. You see my point?
Yeah.
So at some point, you got to be like, is it really worth it for me? Because now that $200 a year is turning into fucking $300 or $400 a year.
Right.
Exactly. You have to
I
break
can't even
it down.
sell $100 games at my place.
It's not that we can't afford it, but it's the principle of the fucking stuff too.
You also, you also look at how you game too.
I guess I
You
just
might not
grew up
need it.
at a time where games were really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Oh,
but then again, you have a cartridge. You're putting the chip in there. People more hands on deck.
You got like 2 or 3 games a year back then.
Production.
You rented it from Blockbuster.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
When the 360 came out, a lot of games were $40, $50. A lot of people were buying games like weekly and monthly. Like,
yeah,
it was great. It was great to be a gamer back then, but
because it was definitely more affordable.
Hey Perry, I just found your stream notification. I'm gonna watch it later.
Yeah,
I'm not even live.
No, it said you was for 2 hours and 26 minutes.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was for Mortal Kombat. All right,
right, Mortal Kombat 3. I'm gonna check that out.
But to build off what Proto was saying, naturally we know that the market is run by the leaders, and who was the first one to take the real leap of faith? It was Sony by making games 70.
No, it was 2K. 2K. No, 2K.
Well,
but Sony's in the background.
Sony's either way. 2K Sony. 2K Sony make it 70. Then you got Nintendo right up there in the batter's box. They made it 80. And from that point on, it's just like, Perry, I don't like Perry said, I don't think the market's going to crash. I think there just needs to be a change in the concept of making the games across the whole landscape. It's either we make the games that we want and we charge you the price that we want, or we become more comprised and we dial it back a little bit, smaller games, smaller experiences, and we're able to give you the right price that you want. I'm okay with a smaller experience if it's going to bring a lesser price. I don't want games at $100 and stuff like that. But to build off, if games become $100 or even at 80 or 90, yes, Game Pass is a great value. But like you said, Newf, when does it not become a good value for you, or you, Perry, or you, Proto, or you, Sir X-Man? We are all different, bringing different incomes. It affects us differently. So your breaking point might be 25. Perry's might be 35. You know what I mean? Mine might be like 45. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think it brings people to Game Pass immediately. I think it's a slow burn because you're looking at it right away. Because if you can't spend $90 on whatever, people are like, yeah, just get Game Pass. Okay, let me go spend $300 on the Series S. Like 500, like you're spending more. So it's like you either got to try it with a PC.
Right? If you look at the Netflix scenario, Netflix became largely popular because what? Well, it came out at the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah.
But it became the largest service because it was cheap. It was cheap and they had great content. But you know what happened over the years? Kept getting more expensive. And guess what was happening? Less content. Well, they might have more, but most of it's built in-house. And for me personally, most of it I could give 2 shits worth. Like, they make about 40,000 fucking TV shows that are made for Netflix, and I'm interested in like 1%. So that was my biggest problem I had with Netflix, is they kept jacking up the price, kept taking away some of the content, because I used to like all the Marvel shows, and of course Disney comes in, takes them all fucking back, leaves us with fuck all, and now what do we got? We got like 101 shows that basically don't last any longer than 2 seasons because they're absolute fucking shit. Not to mention, it's much like the game scenario. You can't watch all the fucking shows that they got on the damn thing because you'd be sitting in front of your TV until you're old and gray, or fucking, or your pubic hairs grow out of your fucking nostrils. That's where we're at,
And
I feel like all these services, like for me, if you want Game Pass to really thrive at this point, you keep adding the content, but you take a little hit and you make sure that it stays at a low price as a marketing factor. Say, we got all this for the low price, and with games going up, it'll only make Game Pass seem even better and better, as opposed to, oh, look, the games are going up, so Game Pass goes up too. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like with movies and shit, you know what I mean? With the Netflix, it's like some people are like, dude, like it's a bargain. Like I also the Xbox Game Pass like for a year or whatnot. And it's like, that's great, but that might work for some people. And then it might not for everybody else. That's $240. Like I'll sub if I want to Game Pass Ultimate if I need the game, or I'll go to CD Keys and get it for cheap. But other than that, if we're just playing community game night, I own all the games that we're playing. So I'm just going to get Core for like $10. I got 3 months of Core off CD Keys for like $16. So we can just play normal multiplayer. I own all the games we're going to play on
That's all I do, bro. Just enough to play the multiplayer shit.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, but like it might be different for Proto. Proto might play a bunch of games on Game Pass, and it's an absolute steal for him, and that's what works. It hits almost a lot of different demographics or targets for all of us and all of our needs. But at the end of the day, I'm saving money. If I want it, I'll buy it. If not, I'll sub.
Yep, I agree with that, because I'll tell you what, and it's like you brought up what's going to be everybody's breaking point. I'll tell you what mine was when Ultimate went up to $20. I downgraded both my son and I's service. You know, I have, I believe my son has Core and I'm running console. You know, so I'm spending half of what I spent on Game Pass now. You know, and
you made me think of something, Proto, in the way you said that. You made me think of something like when you buy Ultimate, like for me personally, I'm just using Ultimate for the exclusive, hold on, air quotes, exclusive games that they offer. And it's almost like when you're buying a car and it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's like, I don't need all the bells and whistles, but sir, this is the only model we have that we make. So it's like, I guess I'm buying all the bells and whistles. There's no other tiers. You know what I mean? I feel like if there were other tiers, me and Newf might slide into there and be like, okay, like this one is a little bit more to us, but instead we are completely one way or the other. Me and Newf are on Core, and then when we want to or we need to, we will go to Ultimate.
Right,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Perry's subbed up till like fucking, I don't even know, the next couple of years, I think, right?
No, I think it expires this summer because I renewed. Maybe November, because I renewed it, I think, in November. But again, I went on CD Keys, and I think I paid like $25
exactly
for every 3 months. So I stacked up a year.
Do it up.
But when they don't offer that anymore, I'm not going to do it. Yeah. I already own most of those games. I actually bought my games. I know people get pissed off, but a lot of people I talk to in the community, they don't buy their fucking Xbox games.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't have a problem with that, but I've always bought in my games.
If I like it,
when people tell me they buy, I'm like, why not? The game was $5. It was $10.
Right.
Oh no.
I buy my games. I buy certain games day one. Like my Tomb Raiders, my bowling.
Got their fancies.
You know what I'm saying? I buy games. I buy my Battlefields. I don't Game Pass my Battlefield. I buy that. You know,
but like,
I mean, Call of Duty, I don't give a shit about. I'm not a Call of Duty fan. No.
I bought games multiple times physically, and then I went over to digital. Yeah. So I've given companies a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. If you keep giving them money blindly, they're going to keep taking it. Sometimes you got to do your own due diligence as a gamer, as a consumer, and look at different avenues and how you can work the system and whatnot. You know what I mean? If you just keep giving it up, there might be cheaper ways. You save and save and save over a year. It might seem like pennies or just a couple dollars for a couple weeks, but you add it up over a year, and you know, you're buying yourself something nice.
That's the other one thing about Xbox. They will take discounted like CD Keys codes.
Yeah,
you know, so you can get it at a cheaper price. You can't do that on PlayStation. They got rid of that. They said
people use CD Keys. You
can't do that on Nintendo. You can't do that with Nintendo either. So, you know, I mean, there's an advantage there. Say you got a game that's normally $70, but over there, if you can find it for $40 or $50, and just type in the 25-digit code, and the game will download. You know, so that's the kind of stuff that I appreciate. So even if they have it in Game Pass, you can still, and because they have it on Game Pass too, you can get it'll be even lower if you want a game that you can buy. Usually it's even lower than the regular asking price. You know what I'm saying? So
sometimes it does depend, because I've run into a few where I've ended up where I've had it on Game Pass for a minute, and then I went to go buy it, off of the Microsoft store, and it ended up being higher than what I could get it for another console. Like the one example I always end up using, and I'm sure not very many people on the panel care about it, but my son and I are big Five Nights at Freddy's fans. And for him, I set it up on his Xbox where when they had it in Game Pass, they had the core titles on there. But then when they took it off, each core title went up to like $9 a piece. I ended up buying the Switch version of it, which was like $25. When you do the math, it was less. And I know that's just one example and it's anecdotal, but I've seen that at different times. So it's not every title, but I know, you mentioned that, and it's something I was going to get into a point of with everything going up and talking about Game Pass and stuff. It's like, I think you're going to see a lot more shows, even like how we're talking about it now. You're going to see a lot more shows go out there and start talking to people more about where they can find these deals, like Perry and HAWT mentioning CD keys and shit like that, where people can circumvent some of this stuff as well. And I think you're also going to see a lot more people not buying day one stuff. I think you're going to see a lot more games hit on discount quicker because
I use G2A, so that's what I use.
Yeah,
and I've heard of that one too. You're gonna hear a lot more people talking a lot more about these services.
And on my Steam account, it's connected to my Steam account, so the game will automatically go to my Steam account, and then all I gotta do is press download. I love that feature.
Yeah.
It won't do it with, I haven't set my Xbox up for it yet, but I don't want to use an outside site for that. PC, I got a chance to catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, if the prices go up, Sir X-Man's getting knee pads.
I think you needed knee pads Sunday after you took off the balls off the
Yeah, right. Somebody's going to be out there. Well, it's a new game came out. Time to go to work.
That's right. That's easy. There's a new Battlefield this year, baby.
Oh, I hope it comes out this year. That's a day one buy.
I'll be walking down the street in a trench coat, butt naked, looking for Sir X-Man when Battlefield comes out.
What the hell?
Shit.
You know exactly where I'm gonna be. I'm back to screw everything up.
I'm gonna wait
like
the
Capcom fighter games coming out on the 16th, right? I'm buying that day one. I'm spending money.
Games being more expensive, that's one thing. We're fairly used to game prices fluctuating a little bit here and there, but the key right now is the console scenario getting a little bit more ridiculous. We're going to get into the price ranges here pretty soon, where the next generation of consoles are going to cost us near the price of buying like a half decent PC. And we're starting to see some guys talking about that online. They're like, well, fuck, for a couple hundred more, we'll just get a fucking higher end PC. And, this is the only generation of consoles in the last few years that we've seen where the prices aren't going down. Every other console generation, things went down. This shit keeps going up. And now, I don't know if you saw the article, but Sony is jacking up the price of the PlayStation 5. Was it in Australia and a few of those places now?
Yeah, they did.
Up and shit.
Like after 5 years, you're jacking up the price? Like, what the fuck?
You know what's funny? When you jack up a price like that, instead of traditionally going down like that over the years like that, and don't freak out, y'all a bunch of broke bitches.
Damn.
What the fuck is your accent? Who the fuck even says that?
A bunch of broke bitches.
A bunch of broke bitches if you keep jacking up prices like that. And y'all motherfuckers know y'all ain't that broke. Sorry to use my language like that, but I'm just speaking the truth, bro.
Oh no, I know I'm broke. I wouldn't got my PS5 for
gamers broke bitches. I'm thinking, god damn.
In this economy, they'd be smarter bringing the prices down. to sell the units.
There's no way.
Then
There's no way
people
it's
will buy
costing
your
more to
game.
make.
Sell more consoles, sell more games, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
But you gotta. There's no way the console is more to make now. Like this console was made 5 years ago. The pieces are outdated. There's no fucking way they have to up it to make more profit. They already made slims. They made like 4 revisions.
Yep.
Like you know what I mean? You gotta check the serial number for the first 3 fucking revisions before you get to the slim.
Man.
It's like that guy. There's a video going around, and this is quite crazy. There's that tea company. The guy makes this really popular brand of iced tea, and ever since the company started, it was 99 cents for this giant can of iced
Arizona.
tea.
Yep,
Arizona tea.
Did you see the interview with the CEO, the owner, right?
Yeah.
So the girl sits down and she says, "You've had this drink out for fucking like decade now, right? And you've never raised the price by a penny. It's been 99 cents." She said, "How come you, when everybody else around you has gone up in price?" And this was what he said. He said, "Because it was great value that drawed in people basically from the start. They love our drink." He said, "We've become financially successful. We've made a ton of money. We're not hurting for money. We're not bleeding money. So basically, why raise the price on our consumer when it's the price point that got us there in the first place?" And I'm thinking, wow, like how come this fucking guy gets it? It's like they've made their money. He's not going broke tomorrow. The people are still going to buy the product. But they're not like, "Oh my God, we need to raise our stock prices by fucking 20%. So I guess we better jack it up another 25 cents because everybody else is doing it." You see what I mean? It's like,
I still can find Arizona tea for $1.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what
That's
I
what
mean.
he's saying. That's what he's saying.
You're
He's
still
saying
buying
that's what
it
he
for a
kept it
buck.
that
Well,
way.
the shit's been out for over a decade, and everybody else has jacked up the prices. The average iced tea for everybody else is almost double the price, if not more. These
But
guys
there's a trap. There's a trap with that. Real quick, the people that sell it, the Arizona team, they may be $1, but they jack up the price to like $1.50, $1.29, in places like gas stations and places like that, like grocery stores jacking up. I go to dollar, but you see that they label the bottle for the price. They label the can for the price in that store you're going to. I go to Dollar General to get my Arizona D1 all the time. It's always $1. You know, but
gas stations, grocery stores are always
gas
brutal.
stations always jacking up shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you jack up the price of gas, all right. You make enough profit. Why?
Well, come up to Canada and go to a 7-Eleven. Like the average bag of potato chips is fucking like $5.
What the what?
Yeah, for a bag of fucking potato chips. You know the big bag, like 200.
Oh yeah, dude, like $5-6, bro.
Oh my God,
$5-6.
7-Eleven, dude.
Wow.
I'm not shitting you. Come to Canada.
No, I believe you. Fuck Canada. I got to be a billionaire to live in
Canada. The cheapest thing they got at 7-Eleven is for the fucking Slurpees. That's it.
Dude, you know what the most messed up thing is? I saw a regular bar of Snickers for $3.79.
Yeah,
you know how much a regular bar of Snicker was?
You sure that bar wasn't called Suckers?
It was like no more than 25 cents. You can even find it for 15 cents. That's ridiculous.
But see, the thing is all right, now I'm going to go on the other side here, Newf, and almost want to, I don't want to say devil's advocate because I'm not supporting these clowns and raising these raising these prices at all. But the thing is, like, you can't compare it to the Arizona tea thing because they're using the same process, the same ingredients, right?
It's still fresh.
You know, that's why it's staying the same price. But the problem with the video game industry is that all of these budgets have gotten so overblown and bloated. Half of what we're spending on games nowadays is basically just paying off all of the expenses of the studio and all this fucking money that they've spent trying to get these games out. I think what needs to happen is, and you know, like Perry had said earlier, there's not going to be a crash. 83 isn't going to happen again. So anyone out there who's going to say, or who's out there preaching like, oh, a crash is coming, we're going to see a crash like 83 again, get your head out of your ass. It ain't happening. It is not happening. The best scenario we could get out of any of this is that a decent amount of regular folks, because let's call a spade here. We're all hardcore gamers. We are going to end up ponying up money because something's going to catch our eye. Like I can guarantee you, if tomorrow they said Doom Dark Ages was going to be $100, I'm spending $100. Just because everybody has that one game, and we can talk shit all we want. No game is worth it. Everybody's got their one game. But what's going to happen is you're going to have a bunch of regular folks, like you mentioned earlier with the parents in the Switch 2 situation. You're going to see enough of these regular people like, okay, this is too much. We can't, little Timmy, I'm sorry, we can't afford the PS6 version of GTA 75 because it's $150 fucking dollars. You know what I mean?
Alive.
Hey,
no, we ain't going to be alive.
Notice though, we've been seeing over the past few years that game sales, the higher they raise that price, the less these games are starting to sell.
Yeah, you're not getting financially.
A lot of people are saying financially, I can't afford this shit right now. I'm trying to keep the fucking lights on.
Right, and that's the thing. You're going to get enough people doing that where we're going to see the scenario like HAWT had mentioned, where you're going to maybe start seeing some people streamlining and shit. But that's going to take time. We're going to get hit hard, and and it's coming.
A lot of people can't afford to buy every game that they have a craving for anymore. It's like now people are getting to the point where they're going to have to start picking and choosing which game is worth their value time for.
Right, and that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be slow.
Happening now. Oh, it's happening now.
Well, yeah, but like I said, the big hit hasn't come yet. They haven't slapped the big floppy dick yet. That's coming.
These companies are gonna feel the pain soon.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they need to because then they'll start maybe dialing some of this back. But it's going to happen over time. It's not going to happen right away. We're not going to see some revolution where all of a sudden people are out there. Yeah, no, lower your prices. We're not buying your games, and then everybody caves and say, okay, yeah, you guys are right. Now it's going to be a few years down the line. So we're in for some pain.
People are going to secretly start using it. It's not going to show up in any stats. It's not going to show up, where a lot of people are talking about it. But eventually, these companies are going to start talking about it.
Well, yeah, eventually.
And all I can say is, you brought it on yourself, bitch-ass corporate motherfuckers.
Well, that's just it.
I'm sorry. I'm getting hostile over. This is one of the topics that I can't.
At the end of the day, we got to speak with their wallets, right? When they start seeing things, they're going to have no trouble, but they're going to have to reel in the budgets. They're going to have to make smaller teams. And like people said, maybe making all these massive games with these crazy-ass graphics, that's not always the way to go. There's some games that are going to facilitate it, but a lot aren't. We know that gameplay trumps everything. We know that
always and forever. Right? Always and forever.
Right.
It doesn't have to be about graphics.
But again, we all have our games.
Me and you
your game comes in at $100, I'm probably going to buy it. But I will have there will be like a fork in the road. There's going to come a time when even the best game that I like, I'm going to be like, you know what? Nope, I'm just going to wait for a sale on it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to
get a code. Oh yeah, how do you feel about game codes, Newf? I've never thought about that. How do you feel about buying gaming codes from a site?
Like I said, when the deals are too good to pass up, Sir X-Men, I can't, I'll take advantage of it. Most cases, like I said, when possible, I'll still try to go out and get the, physical.
Of course, yeah, we all know that, right?
When possible, just from a collector's standpoint, if nothing else. And from a trade-in value, if nothing else. But yeah, game codes. I mean, if you look at my collection now,
like CD keys or something like that.
Everybody probably thinks that Newkem's collection is probably 90% physical and 10% digital. I'd actually say it's like my collection is probably 30% physical and 70% digital. That's largely just because of the economics of gaming. That is that way. Because I think in the last 3 years, I've bought more digital games simply because I don't have access to the physical copies. I can't walk into the store and buy anything. Like all the stores I go into now, they have nothing there. Or I'm forced to go to Amazon, right?
Yeah, there's no more midnights either, Newf, like we used to do when we stood in line for
Love
shit.
that shit.
The only
used to
midnight
love
lunch now is when I
that.
was sitting on the toilet after I had McDonald's. That's it.
Look, I'm playing Turd Blossom.
What the?
Like, oh God, why did I make this decision now?
I got this one in my
Oh, that was funny.
I got missiles in my pants.
All right, I just had a Jimmy John's gargantuan. Oh, I love those things so much.
Jimmy John?
Yeah, put a Jimmy John in your mouth.
Oh God.
And it was so good.
I told you them knee pads getting good use, baby.
Y'all never had a Jimmy John gargantuan. Do you have Jimmy John up north?
I don't know what you're talking about, Sir X-Man.
You know
A
what?
sock
The
or-
Hoagie place,
hair on his head.
dude.
He got
Come
tired
on,
of the
let's
guy
be real
pulling
for
it.
a minute. You've never had Jimmy John's, man?
No, I never have though. I'm dead ass.
Oh my God, Perry! I know you had a Jimmy John's once or twice.
No.
He didn't
Yeah.
catch that.
What?
Wow, Jimmy
I said the
John's is
reason
a
for X-
hoagie
the
place.
reason for
It's a
X-Men, he
real
got no
place.
hair on his head because he got tired of the guys pulling
Oh,
He's got the little pony. He's here with a ponytail.
it.
Oh, he's got some Prince hair. Some
You got
Prince
that hair
going
that
on.
Booker T used to have.
Hey, I had fucking hair, motherfucker. I had hair at your age.
That's what I said, you had
Oh, you touched the
all the
cord
women-
now.
Hey, all the women kept pulling my hair when I went down on them. That's the problem.
What were the women's names? John, Kevin, Chris.
I'm gonna say this. I ain't no strictly dicky motherfucker. I like women. Just get that shit straight.
No, we know. You like to mix it up every once in a while.
Never ever. Never ever.
I mean, let's be real, X-Man. You can't eat steak 7 days a week. You got to have some chicken every once in a while.
Hair. I'm gonna quote from Revenge of the Nerds. I'm all about hair pie. Hair pie. So, thank you.
Wow.
Oh,
nice.
man.
Revenge
You're
of
funny.
the fucking nerds. I haven't heard that in a long time.
That's such a classic
Jesus.
movie, dude. That's such a classic.
I just
Fuck.
I probably about a month or so ago, I just showed the 1 and 2 to the boy. He got a kick out of it.
That's dope.
That old movie's not around the topic. You guys see the trailer for the new Naked Gun with Liam Neeson?
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
trailer. I saw a few of them. That's
I
I
am-
don't know as charming as Leslie Nielsen, but yeah.
But
I
Naked
will say-
Gun 2.5 was the best.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry. When he stood there with the lady from England and he was in the bathroom and he pissed for like 3-4 minutes, I started laughing my ass off.
I'm gonna say it like I told my buddy at work. We were talking about it. It's like because I saw the trailer, and I'm very cautious in my optimism for this film because I want to love it and I love the trailer. And then the reason why I love the trailer is that it doesn't seem like it's going to be this full on just like reboot, right? It's going to be one of these things where it's
Yeah, he's
recognized.
supposed to be his son, right? He's supposed to be his
Yeah,
son.
because you had the scene where they're all looking at the pictures of the dads, and the best one was the cop that looks at OJ and he just shakes his head. He's like, And I'm like, oh fuck, we're doing this. Okay, cool. I'm like, okay, this might be
Good.
right.
Yeah, see, people are so used to him doing action movies. This is gonna be a new side to him that people are not expecting.
I think you can pull it off. Liam Neeson's a pretty creative actor.
Yeah,
he
I think he's gonna pull it off,
good.
man.
He's good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh man. Any further thoughts though on this topic? Like I said, it's probably going to come up in the near future. Play out over the next while. So like I said, at the end of the day, we got to speak with their wallets. There will be no game crash, like you said. I think the game industry is a little bit too big for that. And again, it's not like everybody's just putting out a shitload of shovelware. There's still companies investing a lot of money in these big games and multi-billion-dollar budget games. that sort of stuff, and we're still getting quality games. It's just a matter, like I said, some of the pricing schemes are a little out of whack, that sort of thing. And speak with your wallet at the end of the day. Whether you don't like the content, we've already seen a lot of companies that have either they've had to roll back their price, put the games on sale early, or some of their games ended up dying a quick death. It's a rough market. Honestly, I hate to be any developer because especially when you're playing around with new ideas, what might seem like it's a great idea today is not necessarily a great idea tomorrow. And we saw that with some games that by the time that development cycle rolls around 5 years ago, like you said, the Overwatch trend sort of, was super hot and then it fucking died. There was 3 or 4 knockoffs of that game and they all kind of did fairly well. But if you look at things now, it's kind of like, yeah, they're struggling. I think that's where Concord bit the bullet too. They tried to go down that route. By the time that game come out, and not to mention the weird characters and shit that people were like, what the fuck? I think that was part of it. So,
I mean, all I got to say at this point is this. It's time to drop the sails, boys. We're all becoming pirates. Yarg.
Yeah.
Pirate Proto.
This is a pirate of fun.
Proto Pirate. He's changing his name from Proto Foxy to Proto Pirate.
Proto Pirate. I already got the eye patch.
He does have the eye patch. Fucking hilarious. Look at that shit.
Proto Foxy.
Yeah. Perry's the captain on the boat, though. We gotta put him behind the helm.
Hey, is he the
Good
skipper?
luck, because I don't know how to drive that shit.
Yeah, sir, when you're swapping
Well, you just gotta give me orders.
I'll just be in the bow calling out directions.
Yeah.
Good.
Sir X-Man's going to be in the bottom of the ship. Who eats 30 bagged lunches? I'll tell you who. That damn Sir X-Man. Fucking just down there eating all our rations.
No, I'm down there on the bottom of the boat eating your wife while
Jesus
down there.
Christ.
Real quick.
What kind of pirate are you, dude? You're supposed to be on the same team as me, and here you are talking about having sexual relations with some woman that I might know.
I'm a true seaman, all right? I'm a true seaman.
I go down there, it's gonna be a rave. It's gonna be an absolute.
He didn't catch that one
fest.
either, did he, dude?
Fucking dude, yeah, I gotta go down there to the sausage fest with Sir X-Man and the rest of the people.
Who got the lotion?
Poop deck there, Sir X-Man.
Poop deck.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the topics tonight. We are also reaching our max runtime.
Are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about?
You know what that means? We got
to talk about the E3 thing?
Arnold, Safehouse, and Cletus.
I was hoping we were going to talk about the E3 disappointment.
Ooh, ask Arnold about it.
If you want to talk about it real quick, sure. So what's the deal? I hadn't heard about this yet.
All right. So, because my buddy 108 Dragon's very pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me about that they canceled E3 and it's going to be one of those video showcases on June 8th and they're going to do what everybody else is doing. They're not going to have a live show with audiences anymore. So I'm like,
you mean FanFest, Sir X-Man?
I was going to say, because E3's been canceled.
I think he means FanFest.
Well, I know E3, no. FanFest is the one for Jeff Keighley. But Microsoft normally has their own presentation with a live crowd.
Yeah.
In their little theater and stuff like that. They're not going to do that this year.
Yeah, they're going digital.
Right. They're going to digital stream. Digital stream.
Mm-hmm.
With a pre-recorded showing. And I'm like, why are y'all doing that? Right.
Probably because when they're doing all the PlayStation announcements, they won't be able to hear all the fucking boos.
So I'm like, people look forward to these things every year. And it's bad enough E3 is 100% gone. But for you to do that, that's not a good thing. People look forward to that. People have
set up plans, set up hotel reservations in Los Angeles, even though we'd rather have it in other places, other than LA. I know LA's close to the new.
I feel like they're just following suit.
And I'm like, COVID's over, so there's no excuse for not having a live event anymore.
Yeah.
None.
No, I know what you mean, X-Man. It sucks because it kind of kills like the whole communication process. You get to meet people you might have not met. You might have been online with them for years. Then you get to meet face to face and have actual conversations.
And I like to see live reaction for people in a stadium.
Yeah,
not some chat.
I think they also probably
I can't even read that damn fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's very.
It also comes down to money too. Yeah,
they
just following suit. Everyone else is backing out. You can save money this way.
Yeah. They got money. There's no excuse. You got money. Show your wares. Show the new console concept you're talking about.
Nothing's really changed, X-Man. They're just showing their true colors.
Yeah.
They told us it was only 4 games, and now all the games are going to PlayStation. They told you to come to the Xbox Showcase. That was Xbox Showcase.
It's not just Microsoft. It's Sony not showing nothing.
It's
all of them. Not even Nintendo.
Years say though, X-Man. I know what you mean.
If you're trying to be the only player, if you're trying to get yourself to be the only true player in the game, give your fans what they want. I'm disappointed in Microsoft on this.
Dude, X-Man, Xbox ain't even giving the fans what they want. They're giving everybody else what they have.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Yeah. And then it's like, they kind of not really they're really just showing their face. They tell us it's 4 games.
All of them showing
all this other shit. And then now they're telling you to go to the Xbox Showcase.
You can't just blame it on Xbox, dude. Nintendo. Even Sony.
But they pulled out years ago.
Yeah, they see the money. You don't need to put the money forward, so why do it?
Well, it don't make no sense for none of them to do that.
Well, if they're a third-party publisher, I mean, does Capcom do this type of stuff?
I mean, it doesn't make
Nintendo employees don't have kids because they pull out early.
But I think gaming consoles should be the exception to the rule. I think if you make a gaming console, you should show up.
You're right. You are not wrong, man. You are right. You are 100% right. But the business side of it says money's not selling you in.
It's easier and safer to do it by video. They don't have to pony up the money. They don't have to rent space, blah, blah, blah. And again, I think it's because the dynamic has changed for them now where they don't feel it's so much of an Xbox show because really it's a fucking multi-plat show, right?
Yeah.
So why should Xbox invest in all the work when they're basically doing the work for the competitors anyway? Here's all the fucking games that are coming to your new fucking Switch and your PlayStation and your Xbox.
How are you supposed to believe them? You know what I mean? If they change the
fans are sitting there, okay, like every time a game is shown off, it's like, okay, so now we don't have to wonder if they're putting up the PlayStation logo anymore. We know it's fucking coming. It's like,
they put it up now.
The only thing I can say to that, I don't have to wake up early just to watch a live show. I can catch the stream later. Me and you'll be bowling that. Me and you'll be bowling that morning. Wicked, we ain't gonna show up.
Yeah.
We'll watch it. We'll just watch it later.
They change their plans all the time. So what? So you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Hey, we should make exclusive. It's like
I feel sorry for the ones that reserve hotels for the occasion.
Yes, that is the bad.
For the tickets for the location, and it's a lot of people. So now the only thing you can go see, hopefully, if you can get a ticket to get in, it's the Jeff Keighley's Fan Fest. That's the only thing you can get a ticket for now. That's still the only ones doing anything. They're the only ones doing anything new. It's Jeff Keighley and his Fan Fest.
That's sad, right?
Yeah.
The Jeff Keighley and Kojima show.
Yeah.
Kojima, come and spank me. You know it's okay, Kojima. Come and spank me. Yeah, I knew
exactly what I heard at the bottom of the ship.
Wow. But yeah, I'm just. It's like they're taking away everything that we used to love about gaming.
Exclusives.
I can understand some of the things that are happening. You know, at the games advance, systems advance, and some of that stuff. But to take out the things that the fans look forward to,
I'm truly not
every
shocked.
year, you know, that's the part that kills me. Because I even wanted to go to E3 one of these days. But now it's like, it's dead. Where else we got to go? PAX? So PAX is the new thing now, it seems.
Yeah, PAX is dope.
It's
But
the only game around.
Yeah,
it is.
Right, dude.
Both you on East Coast, you can watch every PAX you want.
I'm going to PAX, baby. I'll be posting photos and shit like that. I might even bring my GoPro and see what I can.
Do they have a PAX in Canada, Newf?
But the PAX, no.
Yeah, I'll pack your shit up and get fucked.
We have we have the Canadian games something or another. It's usually like usually in the fall of the year, I think it is.
Yep. Pancakes and maple syrup. That's all they do over there.
Nah, no. I would not feel safe being a Canadian and come to the U.S. right now. Stay where you at, Newf.
Nah, come down here. We'll feed you well.
Come down there. I heard about one lady. The fucking poor lady went down for some kind of work visit, and they threw her in a fucking jail. That what is it called? That what's the name of that?
They threw a guy in Venezuela.
The dice or something. What do you call it? Ice or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh yeah, the people snatching up all the other people, all the illegal people. Yeah,
they threw in some fucking. They threw in a fucking cell and everything. Made her life hell, man. She's up here doing a news article. And
yeah, that was a guy that lived in Massachusetts, and he couldn't. They sent him to Venezuela, which he's not supposed to go to by the courts. But that's a long story. You can pull that up.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the news. Yeah, the Venezuela guy and his wife is protesting to try to get him back.
Yeah, because he had 3 kids, so that's messed up.
They're trying to claim wrongful deportation or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry, it was not me that had the 40 pounds of methanol in my backpack.
Yeah.
It was another guy named Julio. Cornholio. That's Julio.
Cornholio, Bamholio.
And then bitch called Polio. Do you have a TP for my bunghole?
Yeah, we do, baby.
I got fentanyl in my bunk holder.
It's the cheap kind, so it's gonna hurt.
Oof.
All right.
Oh, dude.
Get your questions real quick, Arnold. Safe House and Cletus on standby. Drop them in the chat. Go ahead, panel. Let's have them if you got them. We'll make this real quick.
Arnold. I got one for Arnold. Who do you got in WrestleMania? You got Jey Uso or Gunther?
I'm going to have to put my money on Gunther because, of course, he's like me. You know, he's like the German kind of guy. You know, it's kind of got that rugged look. You know, it's going to be Gunther. Jey Uso is nothing but a Jey asshole. You know, he's going to put him down hard. But definitely, it's going to be on Gunther. He's going to punt his manta.
Dude.
Arnold, what happens if ICE comes for your maids?
You can have them all. They're used out anyway. Their fucking vaginas are so loose now. It's like a bunch of flapjacks at a fucking pancake party.
I should not have.
Ooh, veggie sandwich.
Oh, God.
I don't like it when the maids get literally like that because every time you get going and you get the really good action and all you're gonna hear is.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Jesus. Cletus, I got a question. Cletus, I had a question. I was wondering if you were gonna go get some Jimmy John's with Sir X-Man down there.
Why? I knew it was gonna be about me somewhere. I just knew it.
You see, I really don't think I need any Jimmy Johns or Jimmy Jacks or whatever you call it. I certainly don't want him with I don't want him with Sir X-Man. He's older than the dust that come off the pyramid, so I don't even want to take a chance on that one.
Oh man.
Anyway, we got another question in the chat. I think it comes in courtesy, what's his name? Fazoo? Farzang? For sure. Okay.
Cletus, are you going to play marathon or run a marathon?
I ain't fucking touching that shit with a 10 fucking foot pole. You guys see that fucking trailer earlier? That shit like it was made in my grandpappy's basement with a Commodore 64. That shit was fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that makes an old hillbilly guy like me lose his last tooth and go cross-eyed. I'm halfway there anyway, but I ain't playing that fucking shit. Looting and shit. What the fuck is that? You know, I'm only looting my refrigerator for an ice cold brewski that are on at night, but I ain't fucking playing that bastard ass game with some weird fucking robotic fucking weirdo looking people. I got enough weirdos in my backyard. I don't need to fucking play games with them.
Hey, Newf, what would you do if they asked you to be a playable character in the new Borderlands 4 game?
I would love it because I'd like to slap the pancake ass off of Tiny Tina. Absolutely. Set me up. Let's go. Let's do it, baby. I'll also be in Borderlands 4. So there, Randy Pitchford hit me up. I'm available and I comes cheap. I'll do it for a snotty milkshake. That's what I'll do it for. We got another question. This one coming in courtesy of Cyber Hunter.
Hey, Arnold, follow up. I thought you would be a Big Bertha the Mechanic kind of girl.
No, she's not bad either, but the problem she's kind of large and I'm pretty skinny. So my bones is kind of brittle, and I don't think I can handle anybody like that sitting on top of me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Jesus
Christ. I think she would give you it. I think she would give you it.
Starting to look like the shape of an L.
Just so you know, Cletus, Randy Pitchford would totally fuck you. I mean, the guy's not.
He looks like he belongs to the Rainbow Gang over there, the Alphabet crowd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's why I nicknamed him Randy Bitchford.
Got just got one.
Bitch.
So we have one. Cletus, how you feeling about Crouton taking your role in South of Midnight?
He did a good job. He didn't say fuck off, but let me tell you, he said enough in that game, but he didn't say a word. He was cool. I like that. He looks like a second cat shit that I put outside my house there a couple of weeks back. You know, you put a few buttons on it and sew it up and put it outside, and he did a pretty good job. The best thing he reminds me of my penis. He's good at going through small holes.
Are you going to be in the sequel to South of Midnight?
Oh, he'll be in the
if they want me in there, I could be a character. They probably think that I was a really good actor in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't even have to act. I just act myself, and I'd have a very good time. I could pull that shit off. I know I'm not that far from that part. You know what I'm saying? I would be a good cast character in there. Absolutely, I'd take over for Mr. Catfish.
Jesus,
become me quite a dish. Ladies, man, I got him right up, buddy.
Cletus, I got to ask you something. Before you get on to the next question, I got to ask you. All right, fuck, marry, kill. Arnold, your favorite pig. Phil Spencer, go.
Fuck my favorite pig. I have to marry Arnold because that guy's fucking loaded, and I can't understand the goddamn word he says because it sounds like. All
right.
I kill Phil Spencer because he's a lying cocksucker, and he showed me a fucking useless Xbox Series X, and the only thing I've been able to do with that for the last 2 years is I cook toast on it. I find the hottest running game I can find, and I stick a piece of toast on the top, and it heats it right the fuck up. I'm melting cheese on this son of a bitch. God. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I would do. Fuck the pig, marry Arnold, and fucking kill Phil Spencer.
It was so you're gonna marry Arnold?
Of course I marry Arnold. Of course. Like I said, it's really good when you can't understand the fucking word they're saying. I don't understand his accent. I don't know what the hell he's from. He's certainly not from around my parts.
Nope, no chance. From
you know what? His tits is kind of shaggy now. Reminds me of grandmammy.
Wow. Hey, Safe House. I want Safe House. Hey, Safe House. Which would you have more fun with, Miss Piggy or Roseanne Barr?
What the fuck kind of fucking cock-ass shit? Fucking cock-ass. Fucking Roseanne Barr, Miss Piggy. There's no fucking contest, man. I'll take Miss Piggy. Who the fuck wants to do Roseanne Barr? Let's go. Even John Goodman couldn't fucking take Roseanne Barr. I mean, first of all, Miss Piggy, she might be annoying as she is, but have you guys ever heard Roseanne Barr talk for more than 2 minutes? Like, your fucking ears are starting to bleed, you know what I'm saying? So between me and my fucking coffee throat and my fucking cigarette smoking, and then her fucking annoying, can you imagine being married to a fucking woman like that? She fucking bitch that every fucking day. Honest to God, man. She is the reason I bet you that most of her, probably her ex-boyfriends, have probably committed suicide by now. Because I bet you they can't even get her voice out of their fucking heads. Just like the poltergeist crawl up their nostrils and fucking just picking at their brain, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. I totally understand where you coming from.
So I have to take Miss Piggy. She's at least somewhat cute, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And if she fucked a little green frog, she'd definitely take my Thanksgiving day.
She'd be like, fuck Kermit.
Kermit!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Dude, that's a picture I don't even want to imagine.
Two more for Arnold.
Are you talking about me now, Miss Piggy? Because I was just sitting in the corner here, and what the fuck is going on?
Wow, you've been replaced, buddy.
We got two more for Arnold. Cougar Man asks Arnold a question.
Cougar Man, where the hell is that? Let's see. Oh,
it's a little up further. He says, "Hey Arnold, do you make your maids and groupies acknowledge you as their tribal chief?" What the hell?
Wow.
I've never been a tribal chief or anything. All I know is they look up to me, of course, because I'm over 6 feet tall and most of my maids are about 4'10". So they got to look up to me, but of course, I am the chief. I am the master chief. I am the master queef. I lay down the law. I take off the bra. I open the hole. I lose control. Here I rummity dum dum. Here I come, baby. Let's go. Do it.
Oh my God.
Hey Arnold, when your maid was running with you, did you tell her get in the chopper, or you said I'll get in the chopper?
I said no. Get to the vacuum cleaner. The carpet needs cleaning. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Amazing people in the chat tonight. Cyber, Gunter, Splendid, Difference here. Fazah, we had Anthony, we got Pink Piggles, we got Mental 9R stopped in, Dreadpool in the house, Stevie Mac, and Nate, Cougar Man. We saw Jacob Cooper early. Dizzy Delta was here as well. Stevie Mac, the list goes on. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thanks so much for the love and support. Talos Ray, as always. Thanks again, guys. Hit that like button, share this stuff out. And don't remember, if you can't catch it live, you can always catch it on the replay. We always appreciate your feedback, whether it's good, bad, what you like or dislike about the show. But as I've said a million times before, and I'll say it again, I love this panel, love the show. It is good to be back. We're already 26 episodes thick. I like it. It's good stuff. Everybody's having a good time, and we hope that you enjoyed each and every episode. Some are better than others, but we are having fun along the way. We hope that, most importantly, you're getting a good laugh out of all this. Again, it's just gaming. None of it's taken too seriously. It's just our opinions, and well, we know what opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, so that's where we're at on this, guys. See you again next Tuesday night. As always, hopefully there's some fun stuff to talk about again. But until then, let's let these fine gentlemen get the hell out of here. We'll start with Yelling It Hot.
Well, guys, you know where to catch me in the usual fucking places. Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Twitter/X. Or you can find me every Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here, baby, where the shit goes haywire and off the rails. Gaming After Dark. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Indeed. Sir X-Man.
What do you want?
Your ass. A cigarette.
You can catch me on.
Is that Safe House Sam's the long lost cousin or what?
What? You started it, dude. You started it.
It's mobile. It's mobile house, Sam.
You can catch me at 5 o'clock on 108 Dragon the Dragon's Den on Saturday.
That's Central Time, people. You can catch me and the young man on Twitch on Sir X-Man 1 with this guy on Sunday.
Yep.
At about 10 or 11 a.m. bowling. Yeah, well, whatever. And you catch me back here next week. At this guy's show, gaming after whatever midnight.
Oh man!
If you want to visit Sir X-Man, go to your center.
The X-rated X version. Yeah.
To the extreme.
I gotta let you have it.
Proto Foxy, when you're not half dying, you're busy over here crying. Some people know where they can find you, brother.
All the usual haunts down in the description below. And of course, every Tuesday night, I'm here on Gaming After Dark.
I like it. Last but not least, one of the busiest guys you're going to find in the podcast scene the last little while is certainly the GameComplainers, a.k.a. Perry. Let people know what's happening, brother.
You can find me every Wednesday night on the GameComplainers YouTube channel, 9:30 p.m. Eastern or 10 p.m. Eastern, whenever we start, between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern for the GameComplainers podcast with me, Frank, Anthony, and Fred.
So. There you go. And he said he's with he hangs out with Pink Piggles, and after next week, his name is going to be Mr. Sniffles.
And I got one quick interjection.
It already is. I'm already.
We still haven't game with Proto Foxy, so we still don't know if he has a mic or not to play a game with us.
Yo, he's ducking us. That's money, X-Man.
This way.
That's a bowling game, so we'll play you guys in bowling. You just got to let
us But Proto Foxy still hasn't played a game with us on Sunday, so we don't know if he has a mic.
Oh, I got one ready.
He's going to have the loudest boom mic ever. He's going to come out and
right.
Use one of my stage mics or something.
He gonna sound like Handy Andy. He gonna sound like Handy Andy on the mic. That's what he gonna sound like.
Hey guys.
Oh
man.
Alrighty. Yeah, we'll catch you guys all next week. But until then, you know where to find me. Always in the gutter. All the links are down below if you've forgotten them already. So go check that out as well. Hit that like button. Comment on the show. Share it out. Tell all your friends. And we hope to see you all again next week. But until then, guys, have a great night. Most importantly, game on.
That's right, baby.
Have fun this weekend. Put something in your hand. The controller.